Hey everyone, it's Dylan, and I just played through Fable 2 pub games and got every single reward. This is a simple game that I can only describe as a pre-order bonus that gives you pre-order bonuses. All the rewards you earn in this game can be transferred to your Fable 2 character. There's 3 minigames: Fortune's Tower, Keystone, and Spinner Box. Each game has 5 tournaments that you can play to unlock said bonuses or rewards. However, because it's all RNG/luck based, it can be quite hard to get all the rewards. There's 15 in fact. Some are cool and some are quirky. The rewards can be transferred to your Fable 2 character to essentially give you a running start in the game. Each minigame is quite unique. The best way I can describe Fortune's Tower is that it's a card game that requires players to place a bet and then either continue or opt out of play depending on what cards are shown. It's like blackjack in a way. I don't know much about gambling, to be honest. The cards in each row are added up, and then depending on that, you can either win big or small. With each turn, the chances increase that a card in the lower row will match a card above it, and that will spell the end of the game. The cards are numbered 1 through 7, and if a card on the lower row matches a card in the above row, then that's the end of that round. Now, sometimes there are these night cards that can save the row. There's also always one night card at the top, and if it gets played, then chances increase that the round will be over soon. I guess, I don't know. You are always going to be at the mercy of RNG. Keystone is like roulette. Bets are placed on each tile, and if the dice correspond to a tile, then you win based on how much of a bet you place on each of the tiles. If the dice roll corresponds to the top 2 tiles on the outside, then the game resets, or if it corresponds to the bottom tiles. The top 2 tiles are called the keystone, and I think the bottom 2 tiles are also called the keystone. Essentially, if it lands on the keystone, game resets. In order to unlock all the tournaments, I have to get a 5-star gambling rank. Getting to a 5-star gambling rank requires a lot of points. Thankfully, it's quite easy to do with Keystone. All you have to do is max out all your bets on every single tile. The way increasing your gambling rank works is you don't get points from earning money, you get it from spending money, which is to our benefit. First thing I gotta do is pick a character. Lynch seemed like an alright guy, so I just chose him. Now, I technically could use all the gold I have in Fable 2, so that I'm not having to constantly get these quick ones, but I don't know. It just feels like cheating, that's all. After some time, I got to a 2-star gambling rank. 3 stars, let's go. I switched to a different table that let me wager more, hence why it looks different, and got a 4-star gambling rank. And eventually I got the 5-star. Alright, first things first, gonna start with Fortune's Tower and try to get this hairstyle card. My initial strategy was to bet big, and once I had a comfortable lead, play more conservatively. On my 4th hand, I decided to pull out a little early, which was a mistake, because then this happens. So I decided to rage quit, because why not? Eventually, I made it to the final table. On the last hand, I was actually up and doing pretty good, and hoping that nothing bad would happen. And then, I got first place. Alright. Alright, on to the next reward, which is a book for dog training to teach them the backflip. On my 9th hand, I got a jackpot, which I couldn't believe. It gave me a nice comfortable lead over everybody in the game. And thanks to that jackpot, I was able to finish in first place. Alright, time to get the high roller's coat. Finished in 5th place, not too bad. Tried to play conservatively, but then I lost. Next game was high risk, high reward, and ended up getting a good win on my 3rd hand. I was playing some risky business by not taking the deals with each of these hands, but I ended up doing pretty good. I was pulling ahead and getting a pretty comfortable lead over these other guys. I got a little lucky there with that one, and then I got even luckier. I had a pretty comfortable lead going into the last hand, and I got lucky and made it to the last table. Doesn't really matter how you do on the final table, all that matters is if you make it. And I got 4th place. On to the last tournament for Fortune's Tower. Got a big win on my first hand that put me ahead of all the other competitors. But then Robin won huge, and then I decided to rage quit. Got a nice win on my second hand. Hopefully I can keep this lead. I was able to survive the last hand. Woohoo! Third place, not too bad. When I rolled the dice, I got 3 2s, which is a massive win for me, and that easily puts me ahead of everyone. My luck was looking good this time because I got 3 3s, which is like 17,000 points. I was blessed by the RNG gods this tournament because I got another massive win. Oh my gosh. And with such a massive lead, there was no way I could lose and easily came. I started the second tournament for Keystone, and this is going to be for the Sleep Master bed thing. Alright, as you've seen before with these 3 dice, I am easily ahead of the competition, and this should be smooth sailing. Alright, another easy first place. Now for the third Keystone tournament, I'll be getting a Potion of Strength. This round was just unfair because when I won all these chips, I was just so far ahead of everybody, like 40,000 chips, holy smokes. First place again, man, that was easy. Time for the next tournament, but let's see what else there is to win. Cool. This was where my luck started to run out, as I just wasn't doing good, and I wasn't doing as good as everybody else, so I just decided to quit. Restarted it, so let's try this again. I had again run out of chips and just wasn't doing too good, and the dice rolls weren't going for me, so I just decided to quit once more. Let's try that again. I didn't even let myself get down to 0 chips, I just decided to quit while I was ahead. Yeah, still no luck in this game. Ugh, these dice rolls just aren't going good. And again, RNG was against me. Finally got the dice roll I wanted and was able to get ahead of everybody. Finally. First place, alright. Championship Cutlass, here I come. And already not off to a good start. Yeah, failed again, of course. But you know I'm always going to be using the same strategy. I gotta win with it. And of course, look what happened. Oh, I even got an achievement for that. Wow. Huh. How many times have you seen that? 50,000 points? Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Somehow though, I came 3rd place. Well, I still got it. Time for the absolute worst tournaments in this whole game. Spinner box. Unlike Keystone and Fortune's Tower, I only need to come in the top 5, thankfully. Of course, getting there can be extremely difficult. On my first attempt, I came 12th because this game is just all RNG based. I got off to a good start, winning 500 coins, putting me in 1st place, but we'll see how long that lasts. Hey, I came 2nd place. That's the first win for Spinnerbox. I suffered through all that just for an apple pie. Can you believe it? Now it's time to win this cool expression. Did you know the hat head mustache expression was inspired by the first Fable game? The developers would play a game where they would try to guess with the wandering traders if they would be a person with a hat or some kind of head or a funny mustache. I stuck around to the end because sometimes, even though the game messes me over when I'm about to win, maybe it would go in the other direction and let me win. But no, that was not the case. I just decided to rage quit because I just did not feel like I had any chance of winning. So let's try that again. I was in 15th place going into the last round. I didn't know what I was expecting differently. Finally got 3rd place after a number of failures. Thanks, game. Time to win this cool back tattoo. Let's do it. I came 2nd place after I don't know how many attempts. Let's win this potion of skill now. I got 2 tournaments left. Can you believe it? I was somehow the rank 1 spinner box guy on spin 46, but then yeah, somehow got down to 17th place on the last spin. Ugh. Alright, the absolute last tournament of the game for the mysterious ring. And I got 4th place, and hey, sweet, I even got an achievement. Alright. Well, I got 10 out of the